Okay, very good afternoon once again. In previous two sessions, we discussed how we can use numerical methods to solve partial differential equations. And especially we are restricting our study to second order partial differential equations. And we solved some of the problems related to Laplace equations. So in this particular session, we will see how we can get the solution of Gaussian equation. So this is the equation for Gaussian dabba 2u upon dabba x square plus dabba 2u upon dabba y square is equal to f of xy. Let's call this as equation number 1. In case of Laplace equation, you saw that this particular term is 0 and here there is a term f of xy, so that a bit change is there, and that's why there is a bit modification in the approach that we are going to solve problems related to Gaussian's equation. Okay, so in case of Laplace equation, we saw the standard 5-point formula as well as diagonal 5-point formula. But here in this particular case, you most of the time will use standard 5-point formula to solve the problem or to calculate the unknowns in the mesh. Again, because of this term f of xy, you will see a little bit modification in standard 5-point formula. Here, for example, if you are interested in uij, then you will see the term ui minus 1j plus ui plus 1j, ui j plus 1, ui j minus 1 minus 4 uij is equal to h square f of ih comma jh, where in this equation you will put x is equal to ih and y is equal to jh, where this j is the step size, or I will show in the figure. So you can see here this figure we already discussed, but if you want to calculate uij, the value of uij, then you will use ui minus 1j plus ui plus 1j, then uij plus 1, and here you can see uij minus 1. So these are the four neighbors, closest neighbor I would say, we use for in case of standard 5-point formula. Along with that, you will see a minus for uij and this particular function you can see, where the important term is h, I and j, where h is the difference between the two neighbors. Here you can see whatever difference you can see here, it is h, and I and j corresponding to coordinates. For example, if a given point is a coordinate, then the x coordinate will be denoted by I and y will be denoted by j. So if this is the origin I j, then the previous point will be I minus 1j and the next point will be I plus 1j. Similarly, you can see here I j plus 1 and previous point I j minus 1. So why am I explaining this once again? Because while solving this problem, this type of problem, you should not get confused between such type of terminologies. So this is the modified equation for standard 5-point formula that we take in case of Gaussian's equation. And once you apply this 5-point formula, then you will get simultaneous equations just like the previous case of Laplace equation, and then you can solve those problem by using Gauss-Seidel method. So as I mentioned in the previous class, whenever you get simultaneous equations for Laplace equation, or in this case Gaussian equation, try to use Gauss-Seidel method so that in less number of iterations you will get solution up to desired accuracy. Okay, now in order to understand, we will take one example. Please understand this particular problem because there are so many calculations you need to do, and if you did anything wrong, you will reach to a wrong solution. And here this is the problem. Solve the Gaussian equation. So name of the equation is given to you, where uxx plus uyy equal to minus 81xy. So this is dabba 2u by dabba x square plus dabba 2u upon dabba y square, and this particular term is f of xy, which is equal to minus 81xy. So this particular equation, even though name is given, but we can say that this is a Gaussian equation because after equal to sign there is no zero. Then the value of x, its two ends are given, it varies between 0 and 1. Similarly for y, the range is given between 0 and 1. Again, some conditions are given or some values are given. U 0y equal to 0, u x 0 equal to 0, u 1y equal to 100, and u x1 equal to 100, and h is given 1 by 3. So these are the four inputs are related to boundary conditions. Now in this particular problem, the mesh is not given to you. However, in previous classes we have seen that along with the question you were given the mesh, but here in this problem you need to create the mesh. So we will see how we can create this particular mesh from the given data. So first thing is x varies between 0 and 1, and its step will be 1 by 3. Y varies between 0 and 1, and again the step is 1 by 3. So 0 is the starting point. So you can see here, let's say this is starting point, let's say, then plus h. So x0 is 0, x1 will be x0 plus h 1 by 3. So let's say this is second point. Then x plus, sorry, x2 is will be equal to x1 plus h. So it will be 2 by 3. So next point, and last point will be 3 by 3, means answer is 1. So we can say that for x there are four values. First one is 0, then 1 by 3, then 2 by 3, and then 3 by 3, that is 1. Similarly, in case of y, the starting value is 0, then the next value will be 1 by 3, then next value will be 2 by 3, and last value will be 3 by 3, that is 1. So there are total 4 values associated with x and 4 values associated with y. So that's why you can see here we have drawn 4 horizontal lines for the values of y and 4 vertical lines corresponding to the values of x. So this is how you can draw a mesh having 4 vertical and horizontal lines, and this mesh is created by using the range which is given for x and y and step h. So ultimately what you can say, the horizontal distance between the distance between the two vertical line, between any two vertical line, between two neighboring vertical lines will be h. And similarly you can see the horizontal, sorry, the vertical distance between the two horizontal line will be also h. So you can see the distance, horizontal and vertical distance between the two neighboring lines will be h. So by using this range and the value of h, you prepare the mesh. So this is how you need to utilize the data given in the equation to prepare a mesh. Now what we will do, we will utilize again these 4 inputs to understand or to decide the boundary values. So let's start with this u0 y equal to 0. So this means for the value of u, when x is equal to 0, for all the values of y, the answer will be 0. So for the first vertical line, the value of x will be 0, right? And the starting value of y will be 0. So u 0 0. So this particular point, and it will take value 0. Then next point will be 0 1. Here y will become 1. So this will be the point corresponding to 0 1. Again for that the value of u will be 0. Again y will become 2. So this particular point will be 0 2. And again for that the value of u is 0. Similarly for last point, the coordinates are 0 1 and the value of u will be 0. So what we understood from this equation, that when x is equal to 0, for all other values of y, your u will be 0. So that's why these 4 points are 0 that you can see in the figure. So this is how we utilize first equation to give boundary condition, especially to the left hand of the mesh. Now we will go ahead. Let's take second equation. U x0 equal to 0. It means when y equal to 0, for all the values of x, you will get u equal to 0. So first point will be 0 0. So this is the starting point where x and y both are 0. So the value of u is 0. The next point will be 1 by 3 0. So this point will be x coordinate is 1 by 3, y coordinate is 0. So again here the value will be 0. So you can see here. Similarly, when x is 2 by 3 and y is 0, you have to take the value of u equal to 0. And similarly, when x will become 1, that is 3 by 3, and y is 0, you can see here you will get the value of 0. So this is how we utilize equation number 2 to assign the boundary conditions of the mesh, especially at the bottom side. Then We go to third equation, and in case of equation in case of third equation, you can see when x is equal to 1, x is equal to 1 means this particular vertical face, you can see here this particular vertical face, and when x is 1, for all the values of y, the value of u will be 100. So we will start with 1 0. So this particular point is corresponding to 1 0. So for that we assign the value 0. Then next coordinate will be 1 by 3. So here the point is having coordinates 1 corresponding to x, and y will be 1 by 3. So the value of u will be 100. So I assign value of u is 100. Then 1 2 by 3. So this particular point will be corresponding to 1 2 by 3, and the value of u will be 100. Again, the last point is 1 1. So this point is 1 1, and the value of u will be 100. So this is how we utilize equation number 3, and we assign the value to the boundaries which are the right side boundary. So we assign all the values you can see here. And finally, you can see the last equation where when y is 1, then all the values of x, then the value of u will be 100. So 0 1, the I guess we there should be a bit modification in this equation, but yeah, we will understand here the answer should be here 0, because we are implementing this equation from second point. Okay, so this point will be 0. This point has coordinates 1 by 3, 1. So answer is 100. So the value is assigned here. The next point is x is 2 by 3, y is 1. So here again the value will be 100. And in final case, x will be 1, y will be 1. So here the answer is 100. So this is how we assign the boundary values. One additional thing I would like to mention, using equation 1, we assigned all the boundary values on the left side. Using equation number 2, we assign all the values to the bottom side of the mesh. These are the boundary conditions. However, when we use equation number 3, so there is a bit modification for equation number 3. Here we are not taking starting value of y 0. We take the starting value of y as 1 by 3. So that's why you can see we need to assign these 3 values by using equation number 3. Similarly, with equation number 4, we take starting value as 1 by 3, and therefore you can see we assign value to these 3 points only. So you might have understood the where you have to use u0y, so this first equation, where you have to use second equations to assign boundary values, for which region you have to assign the values of u using equation number 3, and for equation number 4 where we have to assign the values. So here the y and x, we start from 1 by 3, then 2 by 3, and then 3 by 3. This is how we assign the values. So you prepared mesh by using the range of x and the values of h. Then by using these four equations, you assign the boundary values. And now for remaining points, that is the intermediate points, you need to find out the unknowns, that is u1, u2, u3 and u4. So these are the intermediate points within the mesh, and we know the boundary values, and we need to find out the unknowns u1, u2, u3 and u4. So how to proceed? So again we will go step by step. We have to use standard 5-point formula, but in this case the standard 5-point formula has a different equation. For any point u I minus 1j plus u I plus 1j plus u I j plus 1 plus u I j minus 1 minus 4 u I j, which is equal to h square f of I h j h. So this is the term on the right side, so that we can simplify, where h square we will keep it as it is, but we know that f of I h j h is equivalent to this minus 81 xy, that is f of xy. So we put f of I h comma j h by minus 81 xy. But in this equation, x means IH and y means JH. So replace x by IH and y by JH. And keep simplifying the equation. So take these two h common outside the bracket. Your h will become h raised to 4, then minus 81 and I into j. So keep simplifying this equation. Also, we know the value of h, which is h by 3. So h by, 1 by 3 raised to 4 into minus 81 into I into j, which is equal to minus I into j. So we can say that when you put the values in the 5-point formula, especially the part which is on the right side of the equal to sign. So put all the values by using this equation and go on simplifying. And upon simplification, you can see that on right side you will get minus I into j. Now I is correspond to x coordinate and j is corresponding to y coordinate. So this is related to I, and y coordinate will be corresponding to j in the figure. So for a given point, let's say u, the value of I will be 0, 1, 0 and 1. And for j, the coordinate will be 0, 1 and 2. So 1 comma 2. So this is how you can find out the value of I and j for a given value or given unknown. So I is basically on x-axis, so starting value with 0, then 1, then 2 and then 3. These are the values of x. And for j, starting value with 0, then 1, then 2 and 3. So now you can easily correlate. For u1, your I will be 1 and your j will be 2. So this is how you can easily understand the values of I and j for u1. So this is how we prepared equation number 1. And how we prepared? We use standard 5-point formula, which is highlighted by blue color. And again, we took the values from the Paulsen's equation, especially the part which is on right side of the equal to sign, that is minus 81xy. Now what we will do, we will simplify equation 1 or use equation 1 to calculate the equations of u1, u2, u3 and u4. And let's start our discussion with u1. So this is u1 and we know that I is 0 here, I is 1, I is 2 here, and here it is 3. Similarly, y is 0 here, then here it will be 1, here it will be 2, and here it will be 3. Okay, so we will start deriving the equation for u1. So we know that u1 has coordinate 1 and 2. So you can see in the bracket I equal to 1 and j equal to 2. Now we know the value of I equal to 1, j equal to 2. Then we will use equation number 1. So 0, you can see u I minus 1j will be 0. Then u2, so you can see here u2. Then this particular point, that is 100, that you can see. And then u3, so here u3. Then minus 4uij. So minus 4uij means it will be 4u1 because we are talking about point u1, and which is equal to minus I is 1 and j is 2. So this is how we utilize equation number 1 and standard 5-point formula, that is we use the neighbors. So 0, u2, 100 and u3, and we prepared this equation, and upon simplification you will see minus 4u1 plus u2 plus u3 equal to minus 102. So let's call this as a equation number 2. So we utilize equation 1, again the closest neighbor of u1, to prepare equation number 2. If you still didn't understand this, again we will go ahead and let's start with point u2. So we have to prepare equation for u2, and for that we are using standard 5-point formula, which is given by equation number 1. Now we know that location of u2, so its I value will be 2. So this will be 0, 1, 2. So we can say I equal to 2 and j equal to 2. It is related to axis 0, 1 and 2. So j will be 2. And therefore equation 1 gives u1, so this value, plus 100, this value, plus 100, so you can see this value, and u4, this particular value. So we just use the closest neighbor as we use in standard 5-point formula, minus 4u2. And how this 4u2 comes? Because here 4uij, here your uij will be u4u2, because we are interested in this u2, and which is equal to I minus I into j, where I is 2 and j is 2. Here you can see I is 2 and j is 2. So we put those values and then we need to simplify this equation, and upon simplification you will get u1 minus 4u2 plus 4 u1 minus 4u2 plus u4 equal to 2 minus 204, and that we call it as a equation number 3. Some of you may say still we are confused, so let's go ahead to the next point. Let's take u3. Okay, so when I say u3, then value of I will be 1 and value of j will be 1. So you can see here value of I is 1 and value of j is 1. Then go back to equation number 1, or you can refer the figure. So 4 closest neighbors are 0, 0. Then second closest neighbor is u4, third closest neighbor is u1, and fourth closest neighbor is 0. So we put those 4 values corresponding to ui minus 1j, ui plus 1j, uij plus 1 plus uij minus 1. And the next term, that is minus 4uij, is nothing but minus 4u3, as we are interested in u3, and which is equal to minus I into j, and we know that I is minus 1, 1, and j is also 1. So this is how you put the values of I and j, and upon simplification you will get equation u1 minus 4u3 plus u4 equal to minus 1. So let's call this as equation number 4. If you still confused, let's take u4. So u4, we have to prepare an equation for u4, and its I coordinate will be 2, because this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So therefore I is 2, and j will be 1, because this will be 0 and this will be 1. So j will be 1. Then again we will go back to equation number 1, where you need to find out ui minus 1j, ui plus 1j, uij plus 1, and uij minus 1, and that you can see in the figure as well. So u3 you can see here, then second neighbor 100 here, plus third neighbor, that is u2, and the fourth closest neighbor, that is 0, you can see here, and minus 4 uij will become minus 4 u4, because we are interested in point u4, and minus I into j, we know that I equal to 2 and j equal to 1. So minus 2 into 1. And upon simplification, you will get one equation u2 plus u3 minus 4 u4 equal to 102. So this is how what we did. We utilized equation number 1 and derived equations for u1, u2, u3 and u4. So we have these 4 equations. So here you can see these are the 4 equations Sorry, equation 2, 3, 4, 5. Why I'm putting all the four equations here? Because in previous slides we prepared four equations. And if you look at these four equations, it consists of terms u1, u2, u3 and u4. So we can say that these are the four simultaneous equations. So equation number 2 to 5 are the four simultaneous equations. And now it is your choice to solve these four simultaneous equations. And as I mentioned previously that either you can use Jacobi method or Gauss-Seidel method to solve this equation. But here I'm recommending you to utilize Gauss-Seidel method and calculate the values of u1, u2, u3, u4. Otherwise, you just check these equations and you can substitute subtracting equation 5 from equation 2. So subtract this equation, that is 5 from 2, and simplify. You will come to know that u1 is equal to u4. This may be your observation when you subtract equation 5 from 2. Then when u1 becomes equal to u4, you can put that in equation number 3 and simplify. You will get 2u1 minus 4u2 equal to minus 204. Let's say equation number 6. Similarly, put u1 equal to u4 in equation number 4. So when you do that, you will see a simplified equation number 4, that is 2u1 minus 4u3 equal to minus 1. Let's say equation number 7. Now you need to do some operations. Multiply equation 2 by 4 and then add equation number 6, and it will give you another equation number 8 as minus 14u1 plus 4u3 equal to minus 612. Let's call it as equation number 8. Again, what you can do, you can add equation 7 and equation 8, and when you do that, you will get minus 12u1 minus 613, and upon simplification you will get u1 as 51.0833, and which is equal to u4, as we know that u1 is equal to u4. Again, from equation number 6, you can calculate the value of u2. So simplify this equation 6 and put the known values. You will get u2 equal to 76.5477. And similarly, by using equation number 7, simplify that equation, put all the known values. You will get u3 equal to 25.7916. Here I just applied the logical way and some mathematical operations to calculate the values of u1, u2, u3 and u4. However, you are recommended to use Gauss-Seidel method to solve these equations as simultaneous equations, so that whatever you learned in unit number 1, you are just applying it here to solve the simultaneous equations to get solution up to desired accuracy. So that's it from my side. If you have any question related to this, the session is open for discussion. Yes, so anybody has any question? You need to unmute yourself and ask the question. Yes, anybody?
Sir, can you please take one more example on this in the next session?
Yeah, if you want, I can take one more example and I will explain. Okay, good
Thank
suggestion.
you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Or what else I can do? I will find out, provide a recording prepared by me, or else if online, if there is a very good video available with other example, I can share that as well. So both things we can do, but preferably I will take another example and explain in next session. Okay, thank you very much for this important suggestion. Okay,
Yes, sir.
anything? Yeah, anything else? Did you understand this method, all the students? If yes, paste in the chat box so that I will come to know. This is very easy, interesting, simple, but you need to understand all the things in the flow. Okay, so those who understood, just paste in the chat box that we understood. Yes. Okay, good responses I'm receiving from A division. Yeah, less responses from C division. Okay, A division is very fast, it seems like. Okay, now I can see responses from C division as well. Okay, so I will stop recording.